What's up everybody, Dustin from My Freedom Smokes here, and today I'm going to talk to you about something cool, pretty innovative device for vaping. It's called the Fusion. It's a 2-in-1 vaping system by EHPRO. It is innovative because finally we have something where you can put two different juices in and either vape them at the same time or separate them and vape them and fire, a coil per tank accordingly. This device, it's kind of similar to a Genesis tank, like those old school Genesis, but oh my God, it's way easier. I can't even explain how much easier this is than the old school like Kraken tanks that first came out in the early stages of vaping. But basically what this has is there's two different chips in this device, and each chip fires a different coil. So you could turn one coil on or one coil off, or one, obviously we have one coil on, the other coil's off, but you get what I'm saying. You can flip back and forth between them or fire them both at the same time. If you have two different kind of e-liquids that complement each other, you could fill each side of this tank up, which is it's divided up into two separate tanks. So it's basically, two tanks side by side in this one cylinder. It's pretty cool. But if you have two juices that complement each other, you can fire them at the same time. It mixes, tastes great. And here right now I have like a coconut cream and I have a peach limeade. So together it's pretty interesting, but it's not my all-day vape. But I love these liquids separately, so I can turn off one coil and vape the limeade, and flip it back onto the other coil and vape the coconut. Or you can have them both like this, and this thing really chucks some clouds actually. Uses two 18650s, fires them separately. There's a battery gauge for each individual battery on here at the bottom. That's pretty cool. But that's the coils that came with it. That is 0.5 at 35 watts, so that's pretty impressive right there. Like I said, it tastes pretty weird. You can also put one temperature control coil on one side and a regular Kanthal or whatever kind of wire coil on the other side, and change the settings and have it fire temperature control on one side and water on the other. You could have one higher than the other. I believe when you're firing at the same time, it can go up to 200 watts. But when you're firing something separate, when it fires separate, it can go up to 100 watts because it's it's using individual batteries. It's pretty good. Flavor is tremendous on this thing, especially if you decided to go with one e-liquid, fill both sides up, fire this thing, both coils at the same time. Flavor is tremendous. That's what I did when I first got it. I threw limeade in there, and I vaped the limeade both sides. It was awesome flavor. Split it up, and now I have limeade on the one side, like I said, and coconut on the other. Each one tastes great. Just a little muted than if you're firing both coils at the same time, but yeah, that's obvious. Unless you take the airflow and you can switch it down, you close off the side you're not using, then that greatly improves the flavor. This thing has pretty great airflow, to be just a tank. Tastes great, like I said, chucks huge clouds. So easy to deal with. If you just want to if your cotton gets dry, literally just dump it over and it just bubbles up, stops bubbling, wicks wet, hit it again. Button is iffy on this thing. Sometimes I've had to hit it twice to get it to fire, but that's just the way the button is. The button is this huge, I guess, plate right here, so I guess it might just be me pressing it wrong or whatever, but it's so big, I guess you have to press it directly in the middle. I'm really excited about this thing. Battery life's tremendous. I haven't changed the battery, and I've used this thing as my main source of vaping for about 3 or 4 days, and lowest I've hit is 50%. I'm pretty excited about this thing. I'd like to see what other companies do with this, but until then, if you're interested in this, you should definitely check this thing out. I've had no leaking issues except for when I was an idiot and I took the top cap off and I tried to tilt it over, and I completely forgot that when you do that, you open up the juice fill holes on the side, and it just completely dumped my juice on the floor, showing somebody this thing. So don't do that. But if you have the top cap on, absolutely no leaking whatsoever, even though there's exposed coils. So like I said, pretty cool. Check this thing out. As always, thanks for vaping.